Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here, returning to you really late tonight for this next movie review for If. I guess it's pronounced Imaginary Friend is what it's pronounced as. They just shortened it, called If. The 2024 film that I got a chance to watch with Ryan Gosling and the girl that played, what is her name? Pretty much with what I watched with this film, we're going to get right into it. So I'm going to discuss what I watched for this film. I was trying to think of her name. I just couldn't think of it for the time. So I'll let you know what I thought of this film overall. So let's dive into this movie review. So her name's Elizabeth, from what I gathered in this film. Kaylee Sterling or Kaylee Fleming, I meant to say. I said Sterling by mistake. My apologies. I was looking into it. So, Ryan Reynolds plays in this film, and he plays, surprisingly, you think he's real, but he's really not. At the end of the film, you see what happens. It kind of reveals itself at the end of the film. Which, I'm going to be honest, this film was okay. It wasn't that great. I mean, it has a nice message to it, but I'm going to be honest, it's kind of okay to meh, in a way. Like, this film tries to be something. It's mostly kid-friendly, this film, to be honest. And I didn't necessarily hate this film. I just think with what I watched with the film, I wasn't all that impressed with the final product. I know they teased this movie for a little while, but I just think it's one of those movies you gotta be like, it's fine for kids, but for adults, it's iffy. So, I think Ryan Reynolds' performance was kind of mid. Kaylee Fleming's performance as Bee, also known as Elizabeth, her performance wasn't terrible, but it was average at best. But if I were to give this movie a score, it's going to get, which I'll get to the score in a second. So the premise of the movie is basically getting these imaginary friends together. Bee and Cal, of course, Ryan Reynolds' character in the film. They're getting them together to try to connect with their past human friends that they were friends with that grew out of the imaginary friend stage and grew up as adults later on. And they're trying to reconnect. Bee and Cal are trying to reconnect each imaginary friend with their person that they were with in their childhood. So basically that's pretty much the premise of the movie, and it does work for a time, but in my honest opinion, this movie was meh. So if I were to give this movie its deserved score, excuse my yawning, I'm going to have to give it a 6 out of 10. I was going to say 5.5 out of 10, but nah, it's not a disappointing film, but it's not one of the best films this year. It's kind of mid, to be honest. It's just meh. I don't know, I just wasn't really bonding with this movie too much. I mean, it had the compassion and the heart for it, but the underlying problem is it felt cheesy, if I'm being honest. This wasn't one of the worst movies, but not one of the best that I've seen for a May 17th film. So pretty much 6 out of 10 for If. Not one of my favorite films. I don't necessarily see myself coming back to this film as the year goes on. So with that being said, 6 out of 10. excuse me, yawning. 6 out of 10 for the Ryan Reynolds movie, If, the 2024 film. Hopefully you enjoyed this movie review tonight, and thanks for watching.